Violence against women and girls in Sierra Leone has over the years been viewed as persistent. It is no longer a secret that the vast majority of this violence emanates from men and boys in societies the world over, creating a trapped society for women and girls to cohabit in a not quiet fashion.
He drifted me into an unfinished house.
Roslyn, not her real name, is a 14-year-old survivor of rape while she was living with her parents a few months back in the northern part of Sierra Leone. She recounts on how she was raped by a man more than thrice her age.
Though I attempted fighting to get off from his grip, but he just would not let me go. He raped me and left me. The next morning, I explained to my father about what happened to me, and the matter was reported to the police, and I left the issue unresolved, and it remained that way.
The 16 days of activism takes place every year between November 25th and December 10th, and it is run by more than 6,000 organizations in 187 countries around the world. It marks one of the greatest successes made in trumping up thorny issues appertaining to the vulnerability of women and girls in communities, which mostly have the propensity of derailing their future. The global theme for the 2019 16 Days of Activism is Orange the World. Generation Equality stands against rape, and the local theme is Orange Salon, with Tinap Trangawan for tap rape. The Rainbow Center in 2019 recorded 2,264 sexual cases nationwide in just 7 months, and the figures indicate that Freetown, the capital, sits in highest with 1,039 cases involving girls below the age of consent. But most of the time when issues of rape occur in communities, the brunt is usually borne not just by the child, but the poor mother, who may not even have an idea as to what channels to use in seeking proper medication or justice for her embattled daughter. This is the situation of Cecilia in Waterloo, in the Western Area Rural District, who recounts what happened with a 9-year-old daughter after a close neighbor of hers tampered with her, leaving her close to the point of death.
A military personnel met me on my way and informed me about a shocking incident at home. You are standing here, your daughter is bleeding at home. I went home and met my daughter bleeding, and I asked, "My daughter, what is wrong with you?" She was just responding, "It is uncle, it is uncle." "What uncle?" I asked her.
You might want to contend with the issue involving Mother Cecilia's 9-year-old daughter, only if you've not heard of the pickle of Mother Zainab's 1-year, 6-month-old baby's ordeal of sexual attack.
I decided to go to the market. By then, I was at home with Beshe, my husband's younger brother, and my 1-year, 6-month-old baby. I called, "Beshe, Beshe," but nobody responded. So I forced my way into the room, only to see my husband's younger brother naked. So I asked him, "What have you done to my baby?" The baby was sweating and crying bitterly that afternoon. But when my husband returned and I explained to him about what happened, my husband didn't do anything.
According to Zainab, the frustration of knowing that her baby daughter was abused by her husband's younger brother and the husband's apparent reticence to the issue still lingers on her mind. Recently, the Sierra Leone Parliament passed the Sexual Offences Amended Act of 2019 with provisions that revamped punishment for men who rape or engage in other forms of sexual abuses with women, and more especially girls. Honorable Catherine Zainab Tarawale is chairing the Committee on Social Welfare in the Sierra Leone Parliament.
In the Sexual Offences Act, we've changed certain laws wherein initially, if you rape a teenager, the magistrate or the judge will sentence you 15 below. It could be a day, it could not be a day. But for now, we've tried to go over again. We've overhauled it. We have what we call now a basic and a clear sentence for all sets of sexual offences, including rape or lawful carnal knowledge, because if you tamper with a girl below the age of 18, she is still under the age of consent. So you cannot say she accepted me and she agreed to have sex with me, and that is not an excuse. So we agreed to have it 15 years to life imprisonment.
Samba David McHugh is Executive Director for Men's Association for Gender Equality. He believes that the fight against abuse of women and girls should not stop at forming the laws and shelving them, but more important for a push effect, the fight should now be moved to making people know about the laws and take appropriate actions for change.
We need to take this issue down to the people and give them the civic education. I agree. Some people will say we'll go over radio, we do have the town hall meetings and all that. We need to even go down to rural community meeting, sectorial meeting, talk with our councillors, sit with the councils, the council planning meeting, ward development committee meeting at chiefdom level. Jeez. So that it is not only on the radio, otherwise you're beating the dead horse. We also need to make sure that these laws are reader friendly. We appreciate all the effort they have done in trying to put in it, but it is not reader friendly.
Honorable Catherine Zainab Tarawali could not agree more as she explains plans on the pipeline by a committee in moving towards that direction.
They are very right. The law is yet a new one. We also have a tick to that. Not just authorities, even us as other authorities, lawmakers, we have the right to go to the radios to meet our people to tell them what is inside the law.
So the question on the trembling lips of many now is, what is next on this issue of rape and violence against women, especially when the numbers keep swelling by the hour? Tamba David McHugh.
Our own plan is to ensure that the program does not only end on 16 days. And that is why you are saying we are training our community action team so that after the 16 days, they have the information, they have the skills and competencies to report adequately and on time when GBV issues surface, then the police can take action.
Oh, yeah. No, they call up in the corner.
This audio documentary is brought to you courtesy of the Men's Association for Gender Equality with support from the Norwegian Agency for Rural Development, NORAD, and Sonke Gender Justice South Africa. I am Abdullah Blah.